Hey, Net Community! I'm going to try to answer some of the frequently asked questions as to what's it going to look like when we return to church on July 5th and beyond. Starting with the fact that we are really going to make your experience here as touch-free as possible. So eliminating having to open a door, eliminating having to really touch things that other people are touching, you can go ahead and count on a very clean and safe experience when you're at church. The answer to that is an overwhelming yes. We will have coffee, but not everyone's going to touch it. So instead of pouring your own, if you stop by the Welcome Center, you're going to have somebody that pours that for you, somebody that's gloved and clean, and will hand you your coffee so that you can still enjoy it while you're at church. So as we return to church, we have a cute little jingle that will help to guide you on your experience. And here it is. Wash your hands, mind your space, and keep a cover on your face. Those guidelines will help all of us stay clean, safe, and wonderful as we join back together in that community. When you come into church, we have added sanitizer stations throughout the building. We also love to promote good old-fashioned hand washing. Obviously, social distancing is 6 feet apart, and that's tricky sometimes. We just ask that you do your best. Mind your space. Be aware of who's around you. You may not be at all concerned about coronavirus, but someone else might be, and someone else might be older or slightly more immunosuppressed. So whatever we do, we want to do it to glorify the Lord and to help others to maintain their safety and their health. We've had many people say, will we have to wear a mask? And here's the answer. Yes. If you want to go to TJ Maxx right now, you have to wear a mask. If you want to go to Aldi, you need to wear a mask. If you want to come to church, you need to wear a mask. I know it's not comfortable, but I was thinking about it this morning. It's really not comfortable at all. But I also think it was probably super uncomfortable when Jesus died on the cross. So what I'm gonna say is, let's buck it up, guys. Let's put a cover on our face. Let's be brave. Let's join in together, and let's worship Jesus with a covering on our face. Who knew you could do that? But it can be done. We have a whole new way of collecting offering and communication cards at church. Instead of passing a basket at the end of service, we now have got special boxes at each exit. And then we also have 2 that are out in the fellowship hall. So since we won't pass baskets anymore, you can just take your communication card once it's filled out and then go ahead and just drop that in as you're leaving. And that, folks, is how we will do touchless offering collection. Communion will also function a little differently now. Instead of walking up to the front and partaking in communion the way that we had previously, we will all stay in our seats and we will be utilizing our very favorite mobile communion cups. If you were with us back in the days of the school setup, this is what we used to use. On the top is the wafer, and then you pull another layer and you're gonna have the communion juice. So now, when it is a day that we're having communion, those will be actually placed in the seat back in front of you, so that when you sit down and choose your seat, you will already have communion right in front of you. We have many people that are waiting for baptism right now, and we are excited to announce that we will have our first baptism service on July 19th. And then we have 3 scheduled for August. So in our current days, we will now do baptisms more frequently with no more than 2 people in a service. We have 2 changing rooms that are available after a baptism, and what we will do is just make sure that they're never used back to back by somebody different. So what we will do is just have 2 baptisms in a service so that that can happen. We're so excited to get back to baptism. After we get caught up on baptisms, we're really excited to get back to our baby and child dedications. We would have normally had those in May on Mother's Day, and unfortunately we weren't able to do that this year, so we will be catching those up in August. So if you have got a young child in your family and you're ready to dedicate them to the Lord, we're excited to connect with you and help make that happen soon. Another item that will be rescheduled is our quarterly Net Values session. Net Values is a session that we hold every quarter at Net Community. It's our way of having the pastors and elders work together to instruct a group of people about the mission and the vision of Net Community Church. We encourage you, if you're a new attender, to come and attend this session and find out more about us. We will hold one later in July on a Sunday evening, and you're invited to come out and learn more about us. So there's kind of a joke out there that Southern Baptists are all about food. And well, we're technically Southern Baptists, but we just like to think of ourselves as Christians. And do we love food? Yes, but is it all about food? No. But has coronavirus ruined food? Kind of. So we're gonna have to change the way that we do some of our things. Whenever we have a ladies' event, or a men's event, or a training session, times when we would have normally maybe had a potluck, we will no longer have people bring food in to a gathering. But what we will do is we will make sure that we provide food from one safe source for that event. So we will either have items brought in from a local restaurant, or we will cook in the kitchen that we have been able to build over the last few weeks. We're excited to have new capabilities in a kitchen here, and we just want to let you know that when we have gatherings, we've got ways to make sure that food and food preparation is kept clean and sanitary and the best possible way. So many of you know, we have had something inside of our building called Playtime with Purpose. For the last nearly 2 years, we have had a bounce house space where we've been able to hold parties, and all of the proceeds supported the local food pantry. Well, with the recent days and with the times as they are, it's really a difficult thing for us in that we can't just play on a bounce house like we used to. So this is very personally difficult for me because this has been my passion. So we have made the decision to close Playtime with Purpose, and we are going to be putting the bounce houses away. They will not be used for our kids at the church. We used to use them for childcare during community groups, and we will no longer do that. We just want to eliminate the extra surfaces and the extra ability to pass germs. So what we're going to do is we're still going to keep the bounce houses, but we're going to be building a really special way in this room behind me, a special way how we can store them. So they'll be stored, but then we can utilize this room. This room will be transformed into a new fellowship hall. It will have an opening that connects to our new kitchen, and it will open up new opportunities for us to be able to gather. So though we grieve that the season of Playtime with Purpose has come to an end, we're optimistic for what the bounce houses can mean for us in the future and down the road, and we're also really excited about how God can use this space to help us with different ways to do ministry. Coming up this fall, we will be relaunching community groups, and we will also have our Net Youth group. Net Youth will continue to meet on Sunday nights, same time, same format. For community groups, we will have a blend of the old with a blend of something new. We will be using many more online groups that utilize the Google Meet platform, where we can have groups that meet at home, but we still have the video technology to see one another in the group and have discussions, watch videos, and participate in the curriculum that helps us to connect, learn, and grow more together. On Sunday nights, in addition to youth, we will have one community group that meets here on campus. That group will usually be one that is a topic that applies to many, and it can be a larger group because we will hold it in the sanctuary where we have plenty of space. So in summary, on Sunday nights, you will have one community group that meets here at the church, as well as Net Youth. All other community groups will meet throughout the week at varying times, depending on what works best for the group leaders that hold them. You can expect to see much more communication coming soon about community groups. To recap it all, we just want to let you know that coronavirus has absolutely changed the way that we look at many things. But we know that our God is still on the throne, and our God is still in control. And we are excited to join back together to worship Him in person. We do ask that no matter how you feel about things, whether it be extreme or conservative or anything in between, that you just help us to respect the guidelines that we're given by the CDC, by our insurance, and the fact that we're going to obey the Lord by obeying our earthly authorities. We appreciate you doing all these extra steps to make sure that we're covered and that we're clean and that we're taking care of each other. It's just a great way to honor God by honoring the people around us. I think you know what we're saying. We're not trying to go off the deep end. We're just trying to do what's right, and we're so excited to see you soon. Thanks, everyone.